Good evening, wherever you are in the world. I am Jordan Bankxx. I'm here today. It's Sunday. We got special guests. I keep special guests in the house. I told y'all we got her coming. She's here. She's going to talk about your whack ass credit. Mine too, a little bit, I guess. Huh? But before I get to her, I got to introduce my co-host. He here another week. He made it, y'all. Hey, just burly. Tim Dog, what's up with you? Chilling?
You know.
A lot going on this week?
Not really.
Not really?
Yeah.
Just sitting back doing you?
You better know.
Okay, but y'all know and he know it's not about him. I got my special guest in the house.
Jim.
Special guest in the house. Let's go with that Jim. Okay, we got Celisia.
Yeah.
Celisia.
And you said it right.
Yes, I'm a student of all things sexy.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
Yeah. No, but Celisia Credit is here. We gonna get into some credit. Yo, I got her here because it's important to me. This is like that talk you need to have with your kid about sex. It's credit. We need to have a talk. Nobody wanna have a talk, but there's things you need to know. Things she's gonna show you. Of course, you know, she want a little business too. Gotta come her way. Sister her. She an entrepreneur, you know, doing her thing.
Support
So
black
she-
owned.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
so, okay. The first thing that I want to jump into, Celisia, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Where you from, Celisia?
I'm from St. Louis, grew up
That's
in
what's
U
up.
City.
You-
So I'm a
you
U
see
City
me?
girl.
You see me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
that's what's up. Okay, so you from U City, you close enough to the city, but you out there in the county.
I try to tell people. I try and
So
tell
you-
them. They
you
try
are-
to act like we county girls, but hey,
Hey, I'm telling you, because we used to kick it at
we
U
got a
City a
good
lot.
blend.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to be on the, down there by the U City Library and down there off Skin King
Yeah,
and the
Waterloo.
Loop.
Yeah.
And we used to kick it like crazy, going down to Wash U, everything, just straight kicking it. But so you from UC, you came up in that environment. You know what that's like. That's Millville over there.
It
You know,
is.
shout out to the homeboy. But you know what? I'm gonna be remiss if I don't go into something real quick because I always start the week off with a lot of things going on.
Okay.
I just want to say real quick, President Biden, sir, please release that stimulus. Republicans are not going to help you, sir. You got over 80 million votes to go in and say, yo, we not waiting on you. Press the button, dog. Do what you do. Get us that money. You know, it's not about just the money, though, because a lot of people suffer with this whole COVID thing. Republicans are not going to help you, my man. They are not going to help you. Do what you do. Get us our money. We don't want to hear it no more. I'm tired. Okay, back to my special guest. I'm sorry. I always have to take a pause for the call sometimes. We're going to go into credit, though. You have is this your own credit repair company?
It is. So Status Credit Advisors.
Status Credit Advisors.
Yes.
Okay,
So it's me
right.
and my little assistant, which is my son. So
Oh,
he helps with
okay.
a lot of the day-to-day running errands, doing my
Right.
envelopes, and
Right.
some post office services for me. So
Okay, but he learned about credit early.
trying
That's
to get
the key.
him up there. Yeah.
That's the key, because that's what's important. As I said, it's like having that sex talk. Nobody want to have it. We all need it. So as a credit repair company, how do you help people to restore their credit? Or what exactly are you doing? Is it restoring it? Is it challenging? Is it, what are you doing?
So really, like, the main thing about it is to educate yourself on credit.
Okay.
Know what it is, know how important it is,
Mhm.
and then do your own research. We always say there's no right or wrong way to repair credit. So, I mean, there's so many different companies out here. Everybody does it differently. Your results are different, and you know,
So
it is what it is. You may go to company A and your results is done in 2 weeks, and then company B takes 6 months.
right.
It's
Yeah, that's
different
crazy.
methods that we use, it's different tactics that we use.
Okay.
And then just knowing and educating yourself, you have to keep educating yourself constantly. Like, I learn something new almost every day.
And these are all legal tactics.
there's legal tactics and there's illegal tactics.
Okay,
So, yeah, so speaking of that, I had a customer text me earlier about a Navy Federal account being
Mhm.
opened in his name. And definitely fraud. Definitely
Oh.
fraud.
okay.
So that's why you definitely have to keep in contact with what's going on with your credit. That's why having an app on your phone or
Right.
making sure you have those alerts turned on so you can know what's going on with
Those
your stuff.
notifications. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, at any given point, somebody may have stolen your identity. That's a whole nother
Right.
situation, and that's scary.
Okay, so what do you say to a person who, cause like me, I used to say, man, my credit was so bad, you steal my identity.
You don't even want it.
It's gonna hurt you.
Send it back. I'm gonna give you this stuff back.
You gonna get rejected anyway.
Right.
So what do you say to a person that may say that? Cause you know that's not really right. You don't really don't want anybody to steal your identity.
Yeah, they ain't gonna want yours if you.
We might
if you
want to-
looking like that, they ain't now.
Yeah, we might want to exchange identities, but is it something where a person just feel like my credit score is so low, I've done so many things, I've messed up so many times, I just don't even care about it.
That's okay, but care about it because that's okay. Because the thing about it is, every 7 years, credit history falls off.
Right.
So when I first started doing credit, I started with my family.
Okay.
And of course, like my mom was one that was like, I had stuff so many years ago, like check and see what's online. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Lady, ain't none of that stuff in your credit. None. Whatever you thought you had.
Because over time, it just
Yeah,
Well,
it expires.
Let me ask you about that, because sometimes they have a company that'll buy your I guess what you owe.
those accounts that
Yeah.
you owe.
So
That's a
how,
collection.
Right.
right, but if it falls off, how do that?
So listen, with collection agencies, so another thing, I advise, the credit repair company advise never to pay collections and charge-off accounts. The thing about that is that these accounts have been purchased for, let's just say 20% of what you owed
Right.
originally.
Right.
And when they buy it at that 20% rate, they don't have all your information that the original creditor had.
Right.
So they purchase it, yeah, okay, I purchased your account, I don't have your birthday, I don't have the address, I don't have the number. I just got your account, I bought it for $50. But I'm coming after you for that $350 that you owed.
But they don't have
originally.
my birthday, they ain't got
Damn.
none of that.
That's why we challenge, they don't have all your information, so we challenge these companies to remove that debt because they don't have your information. It's already written off the original creditor's books, written off.
Okay. Right.
So
Write
is
off.
it fully legal for them to do that? Because I
To
heard
write
it's
it
not.
off?
No, for another company to come by.
So purchase, no, you can set up a collection agency. Are you gonna, is it profitable? I don't know.
Mm.
Oh, so I can set up a collection company to buy these
You
collection
can,
accounts.
and harass people
And
all
go after
day.
people.
Yeah, you can.
Because when you respond and you start to verify stuff for them, then that's when they start to really get all this. But then who's to say if they're not taking what they're learning, this collection company through a collection company, they could be taking your information too and selling it to the next collection company.
And that's what happens, so a collection can be purchased
Right.
3 times.
See?
Mm.
At that point, the fight is over,
Right.
so. And that's another way
That's cool.
with the industry, how we fight collection agencies.
Okay.
To me, I feel like you got a collection, I'll get that off. It may take a while because some of these, they do have 30 to 45 days to investigate
Mhm.
to see if that is your
Mhm.
actual account. Now think about with the investigation, they don't have all your information. So if you come back and say, yeah, that is his account, he applied for it using this address and this job, we have some type of information off of that debt.
Right.
But how do you know is how I go back.
Right. Okay. So
How do you know?
how long is the process?
And they may not know, they don't have that wet signature, they don't have anything, so.
Yeah, you cool.
How long is the process for the whole process?
So credit repair itself is, I always say 3 to 6 months. I call them rounds. Every round is 4 weeks. The credit bureaus have, because of COVID, an extra 15 days, so it's 30 to 45 days to investigate. Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't know you could just set up a collection thing and start collecting on people's
Yeah.
information and collecting.
I just
things.
wouldn't want that
Add
job,
new business.
That's right. It sounds like a new opportunity
It could be,
going off of my head.
yeah.
Like, but is there ever just a point where you could say to somebody, "Okay, I can't help you."
You know what, I haven't gotten to that point because my goal is to help as many people as I can. Yeah, it's overwhelming, that's why I do plan to start hiring some extra help.
Okay.
And going automated, which will be a release on my time. Time is
Of course.
money. So, I mean, just to have a process in place to where something is automated, if it's sending out the letters or if it's, instead of so much following up on my behalf,
Right.
that this automation would take care
Like a
of
little
that.
email blast.
Yeah, so
Like
for me, I do everything hands-on.
Okay.
And it's more personable.
Right.
So is it better to file bankruptcy or to let you fix the credit?
You know what, it depends on the situation. A bankruptcy is not necessary at all times. A bankruptcy, to me, is only necessary if the debts you have are just ridiculously out of touch for even credit repair people to even handle. What that would look like would be foreclosures, bankruptcies already, previous bankruptcies on your accounts, and 20 collection agencies looking for you, like, to where you're stressed out.
Right. Right.
But do not go and file bankrupt and you only got 3 collections of medical debt and your student loans ain't been contacting you
you
because
know
they're in
what?
default, and you know what I mean?
You
Don't.
know what? Colored people. They gonna say colored people.
That's
Black
not gonna
people.
repair your credit.
Hey, everybody do it.
Every tax season, we be like, "Should I file bankruptcy? What's going on?"
Some people do it just to get away from the IRS. You know what I mean? If the IRS coming after you, they're gonna file bankruptcy. You understand what I'm
Some
saying?
people do it just thinking they ain't gonna repair their credit.
True.
Yeah, that's true. But also though, the IRS can still come after you. I think in collections and things like that, your debt with the IRS has to be past 3 or 4 years old, or they can still come after you. It's like child support. You can't really.
You can't run from it.
You can't bankrupt your way out of that.
No.
Well, you know what I don't get? I don't get the IRS go after people that's struggling, but billionaires that file bankruptcy or whatever, they don't mess with them.
Like they have lawyers and loopholes.
Yeah.
They know the law.
I
You
need
don't
their
know the law.
lawyers. I need their lawyers, man.
Because see, you got to be able to afford that lawyer. Like Trump, the former President Trump may pay $250 a year in taxes because he pays a lawyer $100,000 to know all these loopholes.
Just take my
See, that's the
stimulus.
difference in us. Your stimulus ain't gonna fire. You can't get 4 times with that stimulus.
That's hilarious.
I'm just saying. Facts is facts. So, but how did you get actually into credit repair? Did somebody introduce you to that business like that?
You know what? Yeah, basically, when I first bought my first house in 2008, that process is different now. But so the mortgage company was like, okay, you need to have this paid and this debt paid before we approve. So it was kind of like a little situation where we had to fix it ourselves, and back then you could fax, call,
Right.
and get things handled like quickly.
Mhm.
That opened my eye up to, like, you know, when somebody tell you no, that's a whole different situation. Like, dang, we thinking we got the money, we can just do what we want to do. When
Right.
they tell you no, okay.
Yeah.
So
Either that or they'll pick the house for you somewhere.
that was my first time repairing credit on my own, not
Yeah.
knowing that this is credit repair. It's just like, oh, I gotta pay these debts and fax this in and write these letters and all kinds of stuff,
Right.
which was easier because, like I said, you can fax it, you can get on the phone, and we were approved in the next, 7 to 10 business days. But times have changed. The faxing deal, that's done. There's one bureau that do accept faxes. How long it's gonna take, I don't know. Letters, online disputes are all a thing. But the online disputes, everybody be like, oh, I can just go online and fix my own credit. Yeah, but the thing about going online and disputing any dispute, any inaccurate information, any account that you're just trying to fight off, those, when you dispute online, you lose your rights based on the Fair Credit Act, you lose all your rights. So if you read in the fine print, it says we don't have to, once we tell you yay or nay, if we're gonna delete it or not, that's it. You don't get a second chance.
I've never read that fine print.
I know,
Because
a lot
I've
of people
disputed
have.
stuff online through like Equifax over plenty of times before, and I never thought I just gave up my rights.
You gave up your rights.
Oh,
So just say, oh yeah, they did delete it. So you good with that one.
right.
You go back to
Okay.
do something else, that's not yours. You pause, but I'm saying 90% of disputes are sometimes, yeah.
Right.
But-
We know.
Yeah.
We know.
But
You know it's yours.
you go to fight
You
something
go
that,
fight it.
I know, you go to fight something that's not yours,
Right.
and they say this is verified as yours. And that's it, that's all you get.
And that's it. So I'm
You're
stuck with it.
stuck. You're stuck.
That's amazing, right? I always say these laws need to be changed, bro. That's the craziest things going on. I don't really understand all that because that just seems so unfair. But so can you explain how? We just saw a little bit of how that affects our life, but can you explain a little more how that credit itself affects your everyday life as far as just, you know, like you said, a house, a car, insurance, a job. Can you explain to us like the importance of keeping everything?
So credit is not important until it's important, right?
Right.
You don't even worry about it until you need
No.
something.
Right.
Credit and your credibility. You borrowing some money from a friend or a family member.
Right.
You did it in the past, you ain't pay back, right?
Right. Of course.
Your credibility
It's family.
is damaged, right?
He said it's family.
Can't
You ain't supposed to pay back.
Can't get it back.
It's the same way with the lenders.
You're right.
It's your credibility. Speaking of that, just with credibility, you can ask. So when you got good credibility, you can ask for anything, right? You can
Of
go
course.
anywhere, you can get approved. You get those yeses,
Yes.
you don't get those no's.
Right.
I bought something for you guys. So just speaking on terms of credibility, this is
Y'all remember to come with gifts.
you ask. Just by asking, knowing that you good folks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're respected out here.
That's what's up.
You ask for anything, it's given. So I bought you guys some drinks. This is by Petty Treats.
Any treats.
They do
Okay.
catering, and they have a location coming down.
Turn it around so they can see it on
Oh,
Facebook.
yeah, let's turn it around.
Any acts,
Support the business.
yeah.
Support the business.
So these are infused. I don't know if you guys drink alcohol, but these are infused
We
alcohol
can't get him
beverages.
none right now.
Slide that over.
We can't get him none right now.
Slide that
That's
door.
live. It's gonna turn to a whole nother show.
Oh, no.
So yeah, so Petty Treats actually wanted
Petty
to
Treats.
sponsor my engagement today with you guys. So.
Wow, I love that.
I gotta say this. People following us, my cousin texted me to say, Jordan Bankxx, who house you at? I just had to say that. Shout out to cousin Phil.
Phil, we'll see you soon in ATL, but it's all good. We talk about this sponsor. Tell us some more about this though before we don't want to get drunk and do credit, but
No, but I mean, just in terms of credibility, you know,
right.
I do have relationships out there to where, you know, any speaking engagement I'm having,
Okay.
I'm gonna have somebody backing me.
Right.
So I appreciate these.
All right, we appreciate
They are
it.
delicious. I have tried all three of these in some time. I definitely used to purchase a lot of them, but every time I would post these, everybody would go crazy like, do they have any more? She would sell out every day. So
Oh, that's,
good deal. I hope you guys enjoy them.
oh man, that's amazing. Thank you. I appreciate it. You know, that's love there. Yeah, I'm gonna take his because he's just a co-host. I gotta see if he coming back.
I don't need to get paid.
No, that's just
terrible.
another example of credit on a different term of the
Right.
credibility side of it. You get yeses when you ask, you get the yeses. You know, you don't get the turn downs when you go to the car lot. You want a new credit card, just hey,
Or you know what happens
you're
at the
not
car
gonna
lot?
get that 7 to 10 day denial letter.
That's funny. You know what happens at the car lot when you bad or you trying to come back up? They'll actually pick the car for you and say, well, the bank said you could get these two.
Right.
Either what? And
You
you
know what I
like,
mean?
not the bitch 2000? I don't want that. Like, are you serious?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of when you got that good credibility, you go in there, you tell them.
Yeah, you tell them what kind of interior you want.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? I want the sunroof. I want the tent.
That's when that commercial is true, the nickel pickle. That's when you can
The
really
nickel
go in there for a nickel. Otherwise,
That's
you
still
can forget.
around?
Oh yeah, they still do nickel pickle.
Okay.
Yeah, they still do.
That's
That
too
ain't true.
funny.
I tried that.
I'm about to quote. Yo,